Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, so this last weekend I went on a scooter rally here in St. Louis. It was Rallelujah 2. If you've never been on a scooter rally and you own a scooter, I definitely recommend it. It was a lot of fun, made some cool new friends, met some awesome people, got to look at some really cool bikes. Just a really good time in general. And if you're in the Midwest, you're near St. Louis, look for our rally. It's Rallelujah. Alright, so anyway, when I went on a rally, made it through most of the rally without a problem, and then I started having some clutch issues. Every couple miles I would have to get off the bike real quick, adjust the clutch cable out. It was grabbing even at a stop. Finally something gave way. We put a new cable in it at the rally and that didn't fix it, so I'm going to pull it apart today, find out what's wrong. So, here we go. Alright, so if you're working on a Vespa or a Stella and you're going to do something with the clutch, the first thing you do is get it up so you can get to it. Now on my bike I got the sidecar over there. It's a little easier. I can just put the jack under here, jack it up, and I've got plenty of room to work here. But, you know, that's how I'm going to do it. A little jack stand under here just for safety. Pinch the shit out of my hand with the jack stand, but that's okay. No pain, no gain, right? Alright, so next thing we're going to do is take this tire off. That's just 5 bolts there, 5 13mm bolts. I might end up taking the spare off, I'm not sure. We'll see. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled the cowl off over there and pulled off the spare. Definitely makes it a lot easier to get to that tire, so now we'll take that off. Alright, so we got our nuts off. They've got little washers on each one of these here. You don't want to lose those because they are lock washers. They hold the nut. They keep the nut from backing off. So try and take those off. Sometimes they stick to the wheel. If they do that, just pull the damn wheel off and just make sure you don't drop these. Maybe just pull it a little bit and then get the rest of the way. So once we got that loose there, always seems to be kind of tight right up there. I pull the wheel off and set that over the side. Alright, so if you're working on one of these, the clutch cover's right here. There's 3 bolts, one here, and one up there on the top. Pretty straightforward. You just take those 3 bolts off. I believe they're 10mm, and this is your clutch arm right here and your return spring. So this is what I had to adjust. I kept having to adjust that out. It started out all the way down here. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Alright, I'm going to take that piece off and we'll see what's in there. Alright, so I got those 3 bolts out. They're right here. They're all 3 the same length, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, when you pull this cover off, normally there's a brass bushing in the middle here that moves in and out to push the clutch to disengage it. Mine doesn't have that. It actually has a bearing in there, which I suspect is what's failed on this bike. So when you take that out, it shouldn't come out of the bore that it's set into, but just be aware that it's there and maybe try to catch it. I've never had it fall out in the past, but who knows? I mean, it's a machine. Stuff happens. So let's take this off and see exactly what's going on. Alrighty. Alright. And just like I thought, that bearing is completely gone. So, here's a piece of it right here. Alright, so this set right here, like so. There was a bearing right there that pressed up against the outside of the clutch here, this part, and there was a bearing in between these two pieces, and it's obviously gone. So I don't know what's gonna happen here. There's a lot of metal shavings in there. Hopefully, I did install a magnetic drain plug on this engine. So we're going to drain the oil and see how much crap we've got sticking to that plug. And we'll go from there. Looks like it was kind of gouging into the case there too. Alrighty. Hopefully this does not turn into splitting the case, because that's expensive. Alright, let's drain the oil. Alright, so here's what I've done. I've drained the oil. I took this little squirt bottle here. It's got oil in it, fresh oil. Got the cage here for the bearing. You can see that. And basically what we're looking at here is a spot for 7 ball bearings. So the ball bearings are nowhere to be found. I'm hoping that this metal shavings right here, focus, camera focus, I hope those are the ball bearings, and they've been ground up to a pulp or powder or whatever the hell you want to call it, and they're gone into the oil there. Just in case they're not, what I did was I took this oil, put it up here around the clutch, and I flushed probably almost an entire quart through the crankcase here, hoping that it's going to rinse out whatever metal shavings are in there. And I haven't had any of the balls fall out, so we're just going to replace the plunger. We're going to go back with a stock. This bearing setup was supposed to be an upgrade with the sidecar. I have a lot of extra wear and tear on the clutch. So I guess what we're going to have to switch to is, it's $10, and that's for the pressure plate, the clip, the bushing, and I think that's it. And we're just going to switch to that, and I'm going to get extra plungers and change them out every oil change. The reason we switched to them was the plunger basically looks like this piece here. Basically the top here was mushrooming out real bad with because they're just brass, and that was causing some extra wear. And so we put this in, and worked great for a while. I'd say probably got less than 10 hours of run time on that piece right there, and it failed. So if you've got one of these in your bike, maybe consider taking it out. I don't know. This thing did start making noise the day before it broke down. It's making like a whirring noise every time I would, engage the clutch. It went away. So I thought, well, it's probably just a fluke. This bike tends to make some weird noises every now and then. So if you do hear that noise and you have one of these fancy schmancy things in your clutch, don't ignore it. Take it out, immediately inspect it, make sure that it's not failing. Lesson learned. I think I'm going to get away with this on a $10 fix. We will see how long that lasts. So when I get the parts, I'll show you the install.